What's happening, traders? Welcome to another video. God bless you all. Hope you've been having an amazing start to your week so far. You guys might wonder, like, why is the setup looking a little bit different? I've simply come back to visit my family, so I don't even have my setup. I'm literally going back old school, recording this off my laptop, and I simply wanted to speak to you guys about something that I've been noticing a lot in my trading recently, which is the accuracy of my stop losses. It seems to be that my stop losses are absolutely amazing. By the grace of God, He gave me, the knowledge and the know-how through all the trials and tribulations, and I just want to let you guys know that if you guys have been struggling with your stop losses, maybe you're putting them in wrong places, maybe they're too big, your risk to rewards all skewed, or maybe you're just getting them, your stop loss triggered and then price is smashing off to TP, you might be putting it in a bit of a silly place. So I'm basically going to show you guys how to put, how to plot really safe but accurate stop losses. All right, I'm going to plonk myself right at the bottom of the screen, so I hope you guys can see okay. Maybe I should shift this a little bit. That's a lot better. I'm looking at Euro USD, but you guys can obviously look at any single pair that you want. This is going to be applied across every single time frame, across every single pair. But I just want to bring you guys, I want to bring your attention to something very quickly. Whenever we're looking at stop losses, okay, we simply want to put it behind some kind of structure. And basically this structure can look like your retest level, and it can also look like your trend defining point levels, these these high lows or these lower highs in a downtrend. Okay, so this is where you're going to get the safest stop loss. But there is something that I want to also let you guys know, is that whilst this method provides you with a really safe stop loss, it's not going to save you from every single stop loss. You're still going to take losses, and you're still going to find price being all manipulative. Like, price is going to tap into your stop loss and run to TP a few times. This is just going to happen. You just have to be able to accept it. But if you guys have been feeling like you're struggling with having a good stop loss, or maybe you're putting your stop loss in stupid places, or maybe you need someone to tell you from a video like this that your stop losses are stupid and they need to change, today can be the day that everything's going to change for you. But having said that, when you are looking, when you apply all the methodologies that I'm going to basically show you, and it's not even going to take that long, you guys need to know that when you scale down the time frames, your levels are basically going to be invalidated a lot more. Okay, they're going to be wiped out a lot easier, like a lot quicker. So basically the general rule is, and this applies to every single doctrine of trading, is that higher time frames provide better reliability, meaning that your key levels are going to be respected a lot more. When you see price trending, it's going to trend more often in that direction. If you see, for example, a reversal signal, it's more likely, if this is happening on the higher time frames, then it's going to happen. So I just want you guys to know that if you are taking these methodologies and going on the 1 minute and being like, yo, I'm still getting stop losses 24/7, well, that's because you're trading the 1 minute. Okay, but still, even if you are trading the 1 minute, it's still going to be able to provide you with a really good and a really safe stop loss. But you just have to know that price moves faster on lower time frames, but it also means that key levels get smashed up a little bit more. Okay, so the rule is that you simply have to put your stop loss behind structure. Now, this structure can look like this. You can put it behind a retest level. You can put it behind a trend defining point level. You could even put it behind something like this. Let's say this is your trade. For example, you entered by here. Even this is a safe enough place. So let me just go ahead and show you, okay? Let me just go ahead and show you where I would place some good stop losses. I really hate using the bar replay now, because there's this big fat thing in the middle. Like, it's just crap, bro. Like, it's just annoying. So I'm going to do my best with what I can to provide you with this information, okay? So what I might just do is I might just try and draw all the, draw up all the info all around here, so we can just avoid all that replay stuff. All right. Sorry for being a pain, guys. It's just I like my things clear cut and simple. Do you get me? So looking at a trade like this, for example, okay, whenever you see bloody hell, did you hear that, bro? Like, my throat was giving way. What the heck? What the heck happened? Yo, Satan's trying to get me, bruv. He's trying to kill me off. Goodness gracious, okay? So if you were to put your trade like this, okay, stop loss by here, this would be a decent place. But you just have to know that when price is trending, now this is just a general rule, when price is trending, the safest stop loss is by here. Why? Because if it wants to, it can get all the way to the trend defining point and then continue going down. Like you guys might have seen that. So basically we put our stop loss above this level because if price comes and takes out this stop loss and closes above the trend defining point, well then guess what, buddy boy, you were just wrong on the trade. The worst thing you want to do is to be like adjusting your stop loss, adjusting your entry in and around by here, in and around by here, trying to get better risk to reward. So you close for like 0.2R, enter another trade, close for 0.6R, enter another trade, and then boom, full stop loss is taken. When you could have just put your stop loss behind this level, and sure, the risk to reward isn't as good, but at least it's in a safe place. Now imagine you take your trade all the way up by here, right? We're gonna just pretend that doesn't look like it's broken above, okay? So you take your trade by here, something looking like this, which I'll show you on the charts in a minute. You put your stop loss by there, your entry by here. You got all this big fat juicy risk to reward, which you can go and take. So these trades are really good, and guess what? You got a good entry and you got the best stop loss. Now it doesn't mean that trades like this, I'm showing you by here, doesn't mean that this is bad. It just means that if you want to have the safest stop loss, then what you basically want to do is put it above this level, okay? But what you also want to do, it's not good enough, in my opinion, just to draw out this level like so and be like, all right, let's keep it as it is. Let's have a quick look to the left. Do we have any wicks where price is sort of interfering? On this occasion, we don't, but let's just say for a moment, right, you just had like a big old wick by here and a big wick by here. What you do is just draw this whole level in, okay? So you're sort of tapping in all these wicks and you're lining up your key level to sort of tap the last wick, or maybe it would be up by here if we're going to include that wick there. But what tends to also happen sometimes is that you'll get like a wick, you'll get a wick, and you're thinking to yourself, yo, this level started out by here. Do you get it? This level started out by here. Now suddenly it's all like this. This is the general rule. Add in all the wicks that you can. But if price just looks silly, if the level just looks unreasonable, then you can adjust it to where it looks reasonable. For me, in this particular scenario, this would be sufficient, okay? You've got your, you've got your key level right by here. You've got your wicks, you go to the left. Yeah, you may have this tiny little wick by here, but this is okay. I would simply see this. If we're starting our level by there, if we're sort of starting by here, what we're looking at is price going like this, okay? So that's that. This is that. So for me, the stop loss by there is okay, because if price breaks above by here, then the stop loss, the trade was just wrong. Like we were just wrong about the trade, okay? So that's it really. We're going to go into some more examples, and I'm going to basically show you, what looks like a good stop loss, what looks like a crap stop loss, okay? Because it's all well and good to say, yo, my stop loss is going to be nice and safe, but look at your risk to reward, bro. Look at your stop loss size, 74 pips. That is not normal. But then on the flip side, if you want to put your stop loss behind this level, okay, a flipping stop loss like that is also stupid. You need to give it some room. Not too much, not too little. Just give it some room. And this is the trick. This really is the trick. You keep this consistent. So when I'm trading gold, I'll flip over to gold in a minute. I'll show you, I don't know why this particular thing works on gold, but it works so well and it's so accurate. It's literally, there's been so many times. It's literally one little pip of hitting stop loss and it just, boom, it goes straight down to TP. You're just thinking to yourself, yo, this is amazing. But it's not, the reason why that works for me is not because I've got some secret holy grail. Do you know why it works for me? Is because I'm applying something consistently. So what I'm about to tell you will help you with that consistency. So you say to yourself, okay, do you know what? I'm going to put my stop loss in the safest place. Amazing. I'm going to put it behind that trend defining point. Amazing. I don't want to make it too big, not too small. I want to put it somewhere there. But maybe one day, maybe one day it's looking like this. The next day it's looking like this. How do you keep this consistent? Well, what I particularly do is I would say, for example, maybe you go to the little, you go inside the level, right? And you maybe go say, let's go 5 pips. Let's add it by 5, okay? So you got 30 like this. So every single time you place a stop loss, it's got that nice breather room and it's a decent level and it's always a certain amount of pips away from the key level. So you got that consistency factor. Does that make sense? So if that's something you feel comfortable with, if you'd rather do it by eye, that will also be okay. But for me, I like having that consistency because I know that I've done everything that I could do. And the reason why I've got confidence in this is because I've spent so many years and I've seen how price respects those wicks. It likes to be, price gets protected behind wicks. Okay, so that's a really big thing. So let's just kind of see how this plays out. Okay, so look at that. Look at that. What an amazing stop loss, because you got taken out of the trade and price is just continuing going up. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, this is why not only is it important to have a safe stop loss, but it's important to have a stop loss in a place where if you get taken out the trade, then it's going in the other direction. Not all the time this will work. Not all the time your stop loss will get hit and the trend's reversed, right? But that will often happen. Similarly, I just want to say, for example, let's say this was our trade. Okay, if you guys might be confused as to why I'm taking a trade by here. Okay, it's a very simple pattern. Price breaks a low, it goes to retest that low, hence why it's called the break and the retest, expecting price to make a new lower low. Like, you'll see this pattern play out a lot. So similarly, okay, you could say to yourself, well, I'm going to put my stop loss in the safest place, but what you're also doing is you're also suffering that risk to reward. Now, some people may prefer that risk to reward. I'm telling you now, this is a valid place to put your stop loss. It's okay. But you just need to know that you may get taken out. Okay, because the way that I like to trade, if I draw it out like this, I will take this trade, but I will also take that trade, because I would rather take the risk to reward, and my risk tolerance is happy to take a loss by there and to take a loss by there, because I know that more often than not, when my stop loss is by here, when I'm taking this trade, my risk to reward is really good. So I'm going to show you how much of a difference this makes. So let's say this trade would have hit you a 1 to 3. If you put your stop loss above by there, what did we say was 35? It's literally almost half. Do you get me? Your trade has to travel so much further to hit that 1 to 3. Does that make sense? But it's all up to what you prefer. Maybe you'd rather do this and go just for 1 to 2. Does that make sense? Right? Or maybe you would rather not take this entry and you'd rather go for a really safe, a much better risk to reward opportunity, like so. Does that make sense? But the main point is your stop loss is in a good place. When you're going over, your entries and your risk management, this is something for you to kind of figure out. I'm just showing you good examples and good places where to put your stop loss. Okay? I just want to draw something else for you. You know how we basically said that if price breaks above this level, the trend has shifted? If you're going to take your trade by here, where's that quote unquote best place to take your stop loss? Quote unquote the place where the trend, if price takes you out, the trend has basically reversed anyway. It would be back down by here. Okay, I've kind of drawn it in the middle of all those candles. Let me go and draw it down to the bottom left by here. So let's say this was your trade. You put your stop loss up by here. Price takes you out. You're looking to enter, you're looking to now enter by there. Okay, that safest place is all the way down by here. Why? Because if price wants to, it can get all the way down by there before taking off again. Okay, now let's say you get really, really, stuffed a little bit and price comes and takes you out by there and you've got a new break. Where's that next place? You got it right by there. Okay, very, very rarely will price do all this manipulation. Okay, but if price did this and you had one more bullet to take, it can get to this level, right? This level by here before trending downwards. Okay, did you guys see that? Okay, yeah, you've been all right. Right, let's continue. Okay, I'm not really going to go into strategies. I'm just going to show you, good places to put your stop loss. Now remember, you can do this on any time frame. Okay, if you're going to go to the 1 hour, where would be a good place to take your stop, put your stop loss? We'll go into that in a little bit. Okay, so let's say you're taking your trade by here. Aha, fantastic. Do you know where's also an amazing place? If you see this, notice how I said, remember for this opportunity, was it by here? Oops a daisy. I'm going to draw it out again. Notice how I said, if you take your trade by here, it's okay to put your stop loss by there. Okay, I want you to flip this, okay, and look at it from this perspective. Can you see how this break and retest is lining up with that break of the trend defining point? What's basically happening on the chart by here, if I just draw it out, is simply this. Okay, now obviously I think this high is probably meant to be lining up by there, but you get the picture. Okay, so when you see a situation like this, just assuming this is one level, okay, you just draw it like so. But look at the amazing thing. What you guys would have done is you would have done this. Okay, that guy on YouTube, that funny looking bloke, said I can put my stop loss behind that level. It's valid, But if you see this, guys, if you see that there's structure by here, or maybe even better so, if you can kind of, if it's not too much trouble for you, you know, you actually, let me go and draw it in. What I was going to say is that if it's not too much trouble for you, include this low. But look, this kind of actually perfectly aligns with it, because what did I say? You want to basically see if there's any wicks, and obviously for here there's not. Why? Because as you draw that, when you get to that line, that wick, there's no wicks by there. If you really wanted to, you don't have to, because in my opinion, if price breaks below this level, you know, regardless of this level, actually, what am I talking about? Yeah, just ignore me. Just ignore what I'm saying. I'll link a video in the description about the trend defining points and etc, etc. I'm probably making it a little bit too complicated. Basically, guys, if you see that, if you can draw your level in, just put it behind that level. Okay, let's not complicate it. Do something like that. Okay, this is okay, right? Right, you didn't get your entry, but you could have entered however you wanted to enter. Let's find another opportunity. Okay, notice how, okay, what I want to show you guys is look how price is respecting this level. Okay, if you guys wanted to, look at that. Okay, so let's go. Let's say we're going to put 5 points above. What's that, 11? Hang on. Yeah. Okay, so you do that, you add that 5 points. Look how price is respecting that level. And look how nice the stop loss is. It's not too far, not too far, not too close. It's lovely, no? Right? And the same thing by here. You know, if we go by here and you want to take your entry, right, let's wait for price to maybe get back. Okay, a lot of news happened there. But hey, at least the trend defining point got respected. Price made a higher high and came down by here. What happens? Okay, let's say there's no news. Let's say you were going for an absolute flipping bazooka trade. Obviously don't do this, but let's just say you're going for like a 1 to 500. Do you get me? You go for your 1 to 500 trade, okay? And oops a daisy, it comes back and it triggers you. Let's say you're by here. All right? What you do, you don't have to cry and run to mummy and say, oh my gosh, my trade has gone down the toilet. Look, if price leaves a wick and it gets respected, you can just start the process again. Lovely jubbly. I think that's lovely jubbly. You got your consistency factor there. Let it do its thing. Obviously, I wouldn't advise you trading around news, but see how price respects it with these wicks. I'm telling you, it's something amazing. Now, what some people may have done in the past, they may have been, you know, a little bit loopy, maybe walked out the mental asylum and doing something like this. Guys, if you are taking your trades like this, okay, for whatever reason, you are taking your trade and your stop losses are like in the middle of price action, what are you doing, bro? I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that. But if this is you, now I'm talking to the guy or the lady right now watching this video. If this is you, you got to check yourself. You gotta go to your doctor and make sure there's the loose there, you know what I mean? No, I'm only playing, but you obviously don't want to put your stop loss in the middle of price action. Maybe that might not be so obvious, okay? Obviously, I was just joking with that analogy, but I'm just saying maybe that wasn't so obvious. Well, this is the time for you to start learning. Wicks, 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 wicks. They protect you. They protect you. Oh, yes, they do. Now, one could argue, well, there's wicks by here. There's wicks by here. Okay, so why don't I take a sell? Okay, because the funny looking guy on YouTube said if I take my trade like this and I put it behind the stop, if I put my, trade like this and I put my stop loss behind the thing, yada yada, oops a daisy. Oh, wait, what? Okay, I'm obviously not going into strategy, but I'm here to tell you that it don't matter where your stop loss is placed if your trades are not following a logical thought process. Why would you, as a sane person, look and notice how price is so bullish, you would be taking your sells by here? Unless you are getting irrefutable evidence, like multiple wick rejections on the higher time frames, maybe a 1 minute shift, maybe this, maybe that. Why would you take a sell by here when you know in uptrends, price makes high highs and high lows, higher highs and higher lows? Okay, so you get the idea. Now, I just want to kind of finish off and just show you more places where you can be taking your trade. So I guess we'll slap that in there. Your stop losses don't mean nothing if you're not taking your trades, in good places. But wicks offer you a lot of protection. Okay, right? you could follow this exact same process, even though I don't really want to do it because it's taking long on the 1 hour. You know, look, okay, I guess so. You see that price is, I mean, look at this. Does price tap in by there? You know, it does. If you wanted to, bish bash bosh. This obviously would be like more swing trading. That goes up to 19. Not bad. Yeah. Nice and protected. Okay. If you wanted to put your stop loss up by there, you can do that. Right? But the main point is, look how price respects these levels. Okay? Wicks, wicks, wicks. They're so important. Follow a rigid thought process and stick your stop loss behind wicks. And if you guys have any questions, come and email me. But I feel like I gave you a lot there. So study your stop losses. Okay? Study your stop losses, suffer your risk to reward if you need to, if you're taking maybe too many losses. But guys, stop loss placement is really important. And I want you guys to prioritize risk over reward. Okay, if you can have really good protected trades with good risk to reward, you're laughing. But guys, email me any questions. If you guys want more elaborate detail, I'm more than happy to provide it. You want to send me your trades, you can do that. But I feel like you guys got a good indication of stop loss placement with all of that information. All right, folks. Well, to be honest, I'm going to leave it there. Low key, it's kind of weird looking at it from a laptop and seeing this whole little place. If I showed you this room, guys, you probably would laugh. I mean, there's K-pop stickers over there. There's a flipping. I mean, look at this. Look at the drawer. I was like a little bit like, yo, I'm going to be 30 years old. Do you get me? This is where I was living for 3 years. But glory to God, because, you know, without the struggles and without the difficult times, I wouldn't be here to be able to teach you guys. But I'm going to finish on that note. Please drop me a like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, then put a dislike. May the peace and the love of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, be with you all. If you have any questions, go to the About section of my channel and find my email and just email me. Even if you want to have a chat. Talk about stuff. Talk about life. You want to tell me how your day is going? You want to tell me if your boyfriend's doing your head in or your girlfriend's just like running around, don't know how to control her? Maybe I won't help with your relationship advice and problems, but I'm here for you guys, okay? Because I love you so much and I thank you so much. Let me know how this helped you in your trading. And yeah, guys, I can't wait to get to know you more. So please interact with the channel, share the video, do all that good stuff, like, comment, subscribe. I probably said that already, but guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Take care. Bye-bye for now.